Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to comment on three bills. First, S 3730, the Registered Travelers Act. I appreciate the work that the bill sponsors and supporters have made to improve this bill over the last few months. But as ranking member of the Homeland Security Committee, I have some security concerns that I'd like to see addressed before I could support this bill going to the Senate floor. I'd also like to see a hearing on the registered travel program to examine some of the issues that this bill raises before moving the legislation. TSA is currently modernizing our nation's airport security checkpoints with new security and practices that enhance the security of aviation, while further protecting sensitive information of passengers, such as their screening status requirements. And I'm afraid that this bill may hinder TSA's efforts to achieve both of these goals. TSA Administrator strongly opposed this earlier version of the bill until his opposition was rescinded by the DHS. Since that time, DHS has been unwilling to engage with me or my staff on this legislation, despite our repeated requests to talk through the specifics of how this bill would be implemented. We need our questions answered, whether it is from this administration or the next administration, before this legislation goes to the Senate floor. The next bill, Senate Bill 4719, Helping Manufacturers Respond to COVID-19 Act. I want to thank members of this committee for supporting my legislation. This bill will ensure each state's manufacturing extension programs can continue to waive cost share requirements to provide maximum assistance to small and medium manufacturers in the next fiscal year. 75% of these manufacturers have experienced difficulties during the pandemic. And given the teapot-shaped recovery we're seeing, investing in manufacturing is as important as ever. The multiplier effect for manufacturing is the largest of any sector. Every dollar invested in manufacturing generates roughly $3 in value to other sectors of the economy. I'd like to thank Senator Gardner for his work on this and the countless other bills that we've introduced together over the years. I also want to thank Senators Coons, Booker, Hirono, Kane, Menendez, Stabenow, and Bennett, who are co-sponsors of this bill. And then finally, Mr. Chairman, Senate Bill 4472, Ensuring Network Security Act. Also want to thank this committee for moving my legislation. But as we become increasingly interconnected, especially during this pandemic, I believe it's vital that our telecommunications networks are secured against adversaries like Chinese government. This bill helps smaller entities, including education institutions, across the same access the same funding authorized by the good work of this committee earlier this year. Thanks to my partner on this bill, Senator Johnson, and to the committee for agreeing to an authorization cap that recognizes the need for this legislation. The $1.9 billion authorization level, as negotiated with Senator Lee, is in line with FCC estimates for demand for this across the nation. And I also want to thank Senator Blunt for co-sponsoring this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.